Thank you for taking time with us off the block. Jonah, congratulations on this victory. What are your initial impressions of this sweep over a good UCLA team?
Yeah, I'm really impressed with our guys. It's kind of something that Rick voiced was, even though we didn't play our best, we found a way to win, which is huge, you know. Not only winning when you're playing great, but also finding ways to grind out games when you're not playing your best.
Let's go back and start this interview by talking about this match. First two sets, 1-3 and 1-2. How did you guys pull it out?
Yeah, we were great in serve receive. You know, there were stretches where we missed a lot of serves, but you know, our offense stayed kind of steady, which really held us together, because sometimes you can be a lot of pressure to side out if you're missing serve. So credit to our passers and for Casey running a great offense, and that kind of kept us in there to score the big points when we needed them.
The second, third set, you guys went down 3-0.
Yeah.
What was the message to the team to not really get down?
Yeah, I don't know. It kind of seems like it's been our MO here for the last few matches of starting games down 3-0, 4-0. We had one in Ohio last week. We were down 4-0 in the fifth set, and we found a way to grind it out. And that's just kind of what we've been voicing these guys is, you know, we don't always play our best, but they don't give up. They keep grinding out points, and they just know, like, little by little, we'll chip away.
The third set was kind of interesting to me. There were obviously Luis went on that nice service run. Take us into that. What obviously it was the serving, but also you guys were doing things as a team. Take us into that run.
Yeah, Rick kind of talked to the guys after the second set, and he just wanted them to stay aggressive with their serving. You know, he'd rather them go out there and swing hard and kind of practice that way for the whole season, you know, rather than thinking about keeping serves in this game. So the guys responded great, and they went out, and I thought our service level definitely increased in the third set, and I think that was the difference.
I'm not sure I've seen back-to-back challenges, but Rick has a good eye, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think Rick gets them right. I think he's almost swinging 1,000, maybe one wrong the whole year.
Let's go down this season, you guys. Went up to Provo. You both lost both matches, but super competitive. You could have easily taken the second match. What did you guys learn from that trip to Provo?
We kind of just learned how to close matches. Like you said, we lost both there, and maybe in the second night we could have taken it. And we had opportunities to close it, and we didn't, which is, you know, it's great that it's early in the season. You can kind of take the lessons from there and start applying them, you know, to games now and in the future, and kind of just about how to grind out games at the end. I think for us that was the biggest lesson, and then on top of that, it's just one of the best teams and maybe the most difficult environment to play in, so you just take lessons there that, you know, any environment basically will be ready for.
You already played the number 2 team in the nation. Down the road, you guys are going to be playing a team that is number 1 in the country. How do you prevent the guys from looking ahead?
To be honest, these guys do a great job of it already. We have 8 seniors on the team, a lot of seniors that are starters. I think it's 5 seniors that are starters, and they're great at kind of self-regulating themselves. You know, they've never been a team that's been favored in any point in their careers, you know, and they're not taking their national ranking and letting it go to their head. You know, they're just a group that comes in every day and grinds out practice and just thinks about one game at a time, and that's something that we don't even have to voice to them. You know, they do it all by themselves.
People ask me what I think about the Zambarba team, and I think a very, you know, scrappy team, but also an undersized team. How do you guys overcome that lack of height to succeed?
I think it's a lot in the way we practice. I feel like Santa Barbara's always kind of been that way. You know, we don't have always the premier names that maybe people know of, but we're always, you know, up there in the nation with digs, and kind of just everyone knows that it's a team that doesn't give up and doesn't get rattled, and that's kind of the identity that we love to have. A little bit of the underdog mentality, and just going out there and really being scrappy, because it's difficult, especially at this level, to close teams out that just don't give up and try not to give out too many errors. So that's kind of the way we try to make other teams beat us. And, you know, you occasionally run into a team like BYU, especially night 1, where they beat us. You know, they were putting balls away, but you know, we feel like most of the time, if we make teams beat us and we just play steady, that will be pretty good.
You obviously played abroad. What lessons have you learned from playing abroad that you are taking into coaching these guys?
Yeah, I think I just, I was so fortunate. I played with, with a handful of really great players, and they were, so kind as to help me and, give me advice, and everything that I kind of learned from them, I'm just trying to give back. I learned a lot of different perspectives and a lot of different styles of coaching, and I'm trying to give all that back. And it's cool because I have a little bit of a mentality of what it's like to be professional and devote all your time to volleyball, but I also have the understanding of being a student athlete and kind of balancing it. So I'm hoping to, to kind of keep that mindset of knowing that these guys have a lot going on in their lives with school and everything, but try to kind of instill a bit of professionalism also in the way they approach volleyball.
You obviously weren't here last year, but to me, I've seen a big difference in the Casey McGarry's game. How much of a joy is it to coach another setter like Casey?
I'm so lucky. Casey, in my opinion, is the best setter in the nation. He does things that I can't do to this day. He's so smart with the game. I tell him I tell him about 100 things every game, and he knows every single one of them. And a situation comes up, and he does exactly what we talked about the first time. Doesn't have to think about it. He's just like a sponge, and the way he watches the game, he understands so much. So it's really great because it's easy for me to sit on the sideline and see what happens, and it's great because I can just say it to him, and he remembers it. And yeah, it's a pleasure for me to be able to coach a guy, especially in his last year, and it's been a joy.
Final question. Obviously, it's not too hard to come back to Santa Barbara, but take us into that phone call from Rick asking you to come back. And what is it like to come back to your alma mater?
It's where I always knew I wanted to come back and be, and it's earlier than I thought it would be. But when the opportunity arose, I didn't think that I could pass it. I was in a place where I didn't have a contract yet overseas. And when it gets to a certain point, your options are really limited. And when the option came to go to Santa Barbara, I knew that if I went there, I'd be happy no matter what. And so far, it's just absolute zero regrets. And I love being back. And I'm also super fortunate to get to coach this group of guys, especially these seniors who I think they've changed the program in Santa Barbara.
Well, thank you for taking time with us. We wish you and the Gauchos nothing but best of luck.
Absolutely, it's a pleasure. Thank you.